Yeah. A hard time. Even if I never cross your mind. How you doing? I saw you were in chat yesterday or earlier, I guess. Clarence? I'm so sorry. I was so locked in deadlock. There's so many things going on. It's hard to stream that game. Any game, actually. Any competitive game. And also chat with chat. I was so deadlocked in, for real. I agreed. The fighting you remember. Just remember this. You play Deadlock too, Kidner? Bro, Billy showed me his rank now. He's like Archon 1. I don't know what that means, but apparently it's higher than his main. So I'm like, I'm not gonna play with this guy for a while, am I? Hello, dude. Huh? Did you stream last night as well? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Because I wanted to. Oh, thank you. Whoa, resub.
19 months.
19 months. Sad. Why are you sad? You haven't been enjoying my emotes, have you? Sad. Here's where it's at, Rust. I trust you. I didn't say that. So Mitch, that's what you implied. I'm kidding. Also, hi Lifu, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning, USA. In life, I know, right? Bro just hates me. I'm kidding. Hey! You fool. It was behind me. Na na na. Block the flashbang. Well, I'm pretty white myself, so I mean, aren't you guys always getting flashbang? It's not that it's not that deep. I did not jump on it on purpose. I'm kidding. Why am I so mean? What is... Hello, Timeless on YouTube chat. Did you guys see that Goon Clancy made an announcement and was like, it's fine if you have multiple chats on your stream, like showing on stream. I think because somebody got their hand slapped. I'm not sure who, when they were showing two chats at once. I'm not sure who it is. Good change finally. All it took was some big creator to complain about it, so... Gigok. Yeah. Enough chatter. I wanna lock in and do art today. Let me look at someone's stream. An actual audience. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. If it didn't happen with this 2 Giga, man, nothing would have happened. So. Huge Clancy, yeah, but now make it so that it's easier to use to clip stuff on your stupid app, Goon Clancy. Fuck. It's so ass. I want to be able to clip stuff on my phone, but that's just not possible. Clip command. I have a clip command. Still ass. So that's what I'm saying. I want to be able to clip stuff while I'm in bed, you know? Roblox integrations? What? What did that even mean? Thank you for the song request. What are you looking at, Nira? Huh? Huh? No, YouTube chat does not have a clip command. I wouldn't even know how that would work in the first place with how Twitch works. Next to browse, we have Roblox. What the fuck? When did that happen? What? You're real. You're for real. What the hell? Seriously, when did that happen? Yes, there are song requests. I'm lurking in Kiddos and Doomy stream, and hearing them talk at the same time is ascending me. I need to lower their volumes. What the hell? People reply to each other. You'd think they will let clip? True and real, bro. Can we tip in Robux now? I think that's Goon Clancy's future for us. Do not tip me in Robux. I'm kidding. That's what you're doing right now. Now, it's just Pico left that needs to go live so I can actually ascend to the heavens. I would say Aya too, but Aya streams at the night times. Is this the right song up? Only on the web app? I think so, yeah. Hold on, let me show you. It's right there. It's so weird, bro. That's so weird, actually. Stinky, fuck you, Psych, fuck you. Also, hi, Ari. Yes, okay. We can. You can tip in. You're lying to me, Nira. No, you can't. What's the conversion rate? $0. Does Amazon even care about Twitch at this point? Bro, Goon Clancy doesn't even care about Twitch. Am I gonna get banned for this? For talking about this? I'm treading really closely to getting banned, I think. Good luck with work, Clarence! In a single... Hey, I'm not saying that, Timeless. But but that is funny. Unless we have snitches. Any one of you I'm kidding. Why would I not tip free Robux to a residential moth? Because you hate me. I have 3 artist gloves on my desk right now, and I'm trying to decide which one to use. None of them feel comfortable today. It's gonna be a bad drawing session, I feel like. Can I fucking move this command bar? No. Here's more about the hot tub category than the actual hot tub. Aren't they just all AI? They're all AI in the hot tub category. If you trash on him, that's... I mean, I would only be 1 in a million that would be trash talking Good Clancy right now. It's like, hey, I have you know, I watch all these gloves right. That's why I have 3 on the rotation. If you can get a ban all slop troopers, will cover your channel? What do you mean, Timeless? Sorry. I'm still kind of waking up a bit, so my brain's a bit all over the place. Also, hi, Scratus. Why'd you need 3 though? I told you. Or like when one of them is in the laundry. And also, they all like fit differently. I have like 2, or 1 is kind of big for my hand. 1 is I mean, I cut it from an actual glove, and 1 came from the XP pen that I sewed to actually like fit my hand properly, but it's not like sewed properly. It was sewed very haphazardly. So it kind of sucks to wear sometimes, because like there's a bump where where you rest your hand on the tablet. So I don't wanna know you. I don't want to sip the small talking romance, girl. Man, this song is old. What the hell? Hi, Garden. Stinky. I am not stinky. I took a shower and my hair smells really nice today because of the new shampoo. I'm so happy. You ever wonder what I do with money I get from commissions? It's buying stuff like that. What do I mean? Self-care stuff. So nice. I like it. I enjoy the smell quite a lot, actually. Semi-clean. Man, I'm squeaky clean, bro. I know I'm a little too fast. I know you, but I'd like to skip the small talking romance, girl. Wait, a 65 straight stream streak! Woohoo! I'm so serious. How do you guys keep up with my streams? I mean, I guess most of the time I stream consistently. Like consistently around this time. So it's not hard, but sometimes I have like that one stream that pisses everybody off. It's the only friends that I have. It's no talking romance. Because I fell asleep early, but you got your streak back though, right, Shirley? I just never sleep, bro. That, and you know what? If you told me that, I would believe you. I'm inclined to believe you. Is this Panic at the Disco? The big 2026? I need to watch that YouTube video about why people hate Panic at the Disco now. I mean, I guess it's specifically Brendan Urie, huh? Let it ride. If I can say it takes me sleep, don't be away. Make keeping the streak going even worse to maintain. That's so you're so evil. Petition to ban. I'm kidding. Petition to ban him because of evil. Smile. On this love. Late tonight, burning bright. Post them the next day. That's you guys are crazy. Feels like everything ends up there nowadays. Yeah, and I recently discovered some news about 21 Pilots, and I'm kind of devastated and disappointed. Extremely, extremely so. I don't know, it's kind of hard to do that though. Separating the art from the artist, I mean. Or at least I find it hard. He's now playing Balatro. When is Lifu not playing Balatro? I say that because I unironically saw someone who does that. Really? Why? Yeah, that's so evil. Let me guess. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I wouldn't even know who to guess. I'm watching the movie tomorrow. Man, yeah. I, that's unfortunate. I was going to watch it as well, but I'm just like, it's like for me, it's hard to separate the art from the artist because like we specifically for like music, because you're listening to an album, and they're like talking, singing about all these things, and then you, and then you're like, oh, but they're racist, aren't they? Why are they singing about this? I mean, that's how it feels for me. How hypocritical and contradictory. Yeah. Hi, Bona. How you doing, Bona? I love this whole album. Wait, the one from Panic? Yeah. Panic's older albums are pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. But then, I don't know what happened, but when Brendan Urie, when 21 Pilots just became Brendan Urie, he started covering like Disney songs or something. Didn't Brendan Urie like cover the Frozen song? At that point, I was like, okay, he might be cooked without his songwriters. Sorry, Panic. Panic became Brendan Urie. The reason why I heard about all the 21 Pilots drama was because of the movie. And then I just started discovering a lot of other things that I was like, oh, okay, we might be cooked here. It might be over. Their earlier albums, yeah, I agree. The earlier albums, very good. I think in the earlier albums they did a really good job with the vibes, if that makes sense. Let's go through their album. Oh man, my favorite album was which one was that? Panic. Love me. Was it this one? Hold on. What? A Fever You Can't Sweat Out had its 20th anniversary. That's crazy. Yeah, but that's one of my favorite albums, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. And the one that with the fancy, like, Pretty Odd. My god! Pretty Odd was such a good album. I need to go to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. BRB! Gotta pee. Whew. Funny, weird, and emotional. True, real. My older brother is in the fucking shower. And he takes 2 hours minimum to shower every time. I had to go downstairs. Woo. Yeah, 2 hours. That's not even an exaggeration. He, yes, for a shower. I don't know what he does in there, but all I hear is like him scrolling through TikToks. Hi Phil, good morning. Hi Taro. Thought you were missing an arm for a sec. I might be. You wouldn't know, because you only always see my torso. Oh yeah. How are you today? I'm pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. How do you control Z? Good question. That I won't answer. Don't burn yourself out. Yeah, I wanted to stream twice yesterday just because I wanted to do art also after reading, but I felt really tired after the reading session. So I knocked out, and yes. What are you drawing, by the way? This is a commission of a fish. No, my brother asking if he could have some protein powder. I think if I lock in today, I can rig this. What? Is there a fucking ant on my shoulder or something? But I have to message the person who commissioned this first before I can move on, I guess. What is this? My shirt is being funny with me today. Oh no, wait, no. It's an ant. Where the fuck did it come from? I don't know. Okay, hold on. An ant just bit my shoulder. I don't know where it came from. Doesn't feel good though. I'll tell you that much. Auntie bites your shoulder? That's a crazy statement. Body hole. Oops, well, fucked up. Yeah. Ugh. Can you see inside? Gotta jump back up underneath there. Doesn't linger on stream any longer. Why? Your incredibly base take of not liking it when your auntie bites your finger. I mean, your shoulder finger. Wow. Clearly, I still need some more sleep. In my veins, I'm made up of mistakes. Let's forget who we are and dive in to the dark Into colors, return to love. Cause I've got a jet black heart. Why are you gagging at my fish? You hate my fish, don't you? I knew it. Almost forgot. Get out of here. Go to bed. I keep... Nope. What did I do? What did I do? What a catch. I forgot how that song goes. What a... I don't know if that's how it actually... Never mind. Hold on, let me just... 1 second. Internet stress testing stream? I don't know, my karaoke streams are kind of rare. And very few and far between. Usually if it's like a holiday, or you know, like Valentine's or my birthday or something like that. But whoa, 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 whoa. So tomorrow, you don't like my singing that much. Admit it. I'm kidding. Why am I so mean to... I need to calm down. Jesus. What the heck? I'm sorry, bro. I don't mean it like that, bro. National Chocolate Covered Nut Day? Why is there a holiday for such a thing? I mean, base, I think? Today's a holiday for us Filipinos, I think. What was it? EDSA People Powers today? But that's not the kind of holiday I'm talking about. Or cat gag if you do praise. I don't believe you. Am I wrong for that? Not believing you? And I just need to match what I catch. It was a song. What I catch. You're right. Of course I'm right. I'm always right. I'm gonna trouble fly. Hi Gen2 and hello TPD5109 on YouTube chat. Can't stop being right. That's just where I am at this point in my life, bro. What can I say? Trouble thoughts. I have an idea. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Why you want me to do karaoke, man? What's the occasion? Is it somebody's birthday? Like watching you do stuff. Really? No way. It's my birthday. What? Liar? I'm kidding. Tomorrow's karaoke. What if we just do a cooking stream tomorrow? I keep forgetting that we need to do one this week because I haven't done. I still haven't done it. What's the fish design? This is a commission, and I'm gonna rig this eventually. The fish design, yes, yes. I don't know how to explain. This commission. It's just a fish. What you cooking? I still don't know, man. We'll decide. I mean, I will decide later. That's getting rigged. Yes, hold on. Let me show you. This is how it's going to look. This is the test rig that I did to figure out the layers separation. So. Yeah, it might. Well, I don't know. I still have to wait for the client to reply and like finalize the design. I should add legs. You know what? You know what? I will do that. You might be the smartest chatter alive. Kidding. It's nearly Steve Lay. Who? Did I just get these nuts joked on? Alright, this is pretty much done. Let's send a screenshot. Hold on, actually. The mouth. Hmm. Nicotine. Do fish have tongues, bro? Honest question. Mama. Hi, Tanner. Match with Billy? It was okay. The one match that we played with Sia went on for an hour. It was crazy. Mm. Okay, I think we're done here. Take a screenshot and send it over. Hmm. Ow. Ish. Create the artwork and rig it? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Let's see. Let me try finishing this. Or at least get the base colors down. Hmm. It'd probably be nicer to animate in Krita, I'm not gonna lie to you. Wait. Oh, oops. What the fuck? Forgot to make a new layer. Where? Have a great day. Good luck with classes today, TPD. A full Fallout Boy album. Sure. Let me see. Let's do... From Under the Corpse, we got their 20th anniversary too. Wow. What is this? What am I doing? No, just don't do that. Thank you for the follow, TPD. Mm. A remix? Let me see. Yes. I skip it. It's... Oh. Hold on. This album is mixed. Like, there's disc 1 and disc 2. And disc 2 is just a bunch of remixes. Yeah. Let's just listen to it in order. But by this, I have no clue. I've been LARPing as listening to music with you guys, but actually I've been watching a YouTube video where you guys have been just listening to the music. I like put a gain filter on the Spotify and turned it down for me so it's louder for you guys. My bad. I wanted to watch YouTube videos. Hi, Glims. Hey. What the? Ugh. No, I made sure to ping Discord though, so you're drawing. I'm working on an animation. Did your stream streak get ruined then? Rest in peace, stream streak. Not the last one. Oh, well, for the stream, I didn't post an announcement on Discord. How you doing, Games? How's work, man? Low? The usual. So the usual then. Bow bow. Okay, the video I was watching is over. Let me actually listen to the music with you guys. Ba 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 ba. Sing. Meow. Hmm. Uy. Uy, 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 uy.
We got a resub.
Resub!
Dust just subscribed.
Hi,
for 18
Dusty. How you
months.
doing, Dusty?
I'm finally 18.
I'm finally 18. Happy 18th. Hand me. Oh yeah. I think I karaoke stream because Dusty turned 18? Question? Jokes. You look so good in blue. Good in blue. So good in blue. So close to TOS. What do you mean? Best kept secret and I'm gonna get banned tomorrow, aren't I? Someone knocking on my door? Don't know. And this animation's taking forever to finish. On Facebook? Don't. No, I don't wanna be. I don't wanna stream where the Facebook moms are. I'm gonna die over there. All the Filipinos are over there, bro. Well, do I mean that in a mean way? Yes, I do. Okay, let me just copy these. Bury myself. I swear someone's knocking on my door. I don't want to open it. Delete that. Sure. Oh. Mama. Everyone else. Minute. Oh. For myself. Oh. Oh my god. Last frame. Finally. Oh shit. Undo. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh. Ah, I fucked up. Ah. Are we done? Okay. Wake up at 6 a.m. Hello, Glacier. This is a new stream. Blah. I woke up earlier than I thought I would. Da 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 da. I'm not the. To myself. My own. Ooh. Whatever you call it in English. Good luck with college today. Have fun. Oh, man, that took so long. It's so cute though. Inside. Down. Oh, down. Over now. Over down. All night. Let's play this album instead. I wanna listen to Jetpack Blues. I got those Jetpack Blues. Just like better. Better. In this one of mine. Way you hurt me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like the way. I love the way you hurt me. Cute emote, I know. So adorable. You're saying the emote is cute, therefore you're saying I am cute because this is an emote of me. Right? You're cute as fuck, and yes, thank you. I know. The way you have is determination. What does that mean? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like the way. I like the way. I love the way you hurt me. Undertale. Oh, I don't know about that. Actually, trying to say live, live and let live. Look the most. It's the love, the way you hurt me. Okay. Oh yeah. I love the way you hurt me. I'm an American Psycho. I'm an American. Whoa. Oh. Oh. I'm an American. I'm in love again. The best one. Oh, oh. Can take on community. Nope. American. Stay up, stay up. Thoughts on me? Whoa, whoa. Hmm. The in-between frames look so silly. Man. She's an American beauty. I'm an American. I'm also American. Yes. How much do I pay for taxes this year? American. Like the jiggle? I do too. There's so much more to do. I'm not gonna lie. Oh. My phone died! What do you mean? Isn't it? Oh, it's not charging. Ah. At the end, it's so cute. I know. I was a bit worried that it would look weird. I think it is very cute. You know, should I just call this done? I don't really want to animate anymore. What's wrong with me? Oh shit. Oi! Looks nice. Thank you. Oh, I forgot. I forgot the face dots and the thing on my head. The color, the discoloration. Ah! Man. This Chungus life, man. Forgot the face. I'm sorry! You're about to bloom! 4 to 5 more hours and finishing misericorde will re-energize you. Surely. Surely. I'm gonna go on a run later, man. That's gonna... I've been kind of slacking my runs lately. The Toucher? Hello? Can I ever get... Hi? I think hi. Should I have my guard up right now or something? Some legends are told, sometimes it does not to go. No, what the hell? This guy is crazy. Wants me cancelled for real. Oh, it's a song, it's a song! Mama. I hate this frame so much, it looks so silly. Stuck in a bedrock. Eaten off more than I could chew. Best frame, so you hate me. That's what you're saying. On film on between the sheets, always fall from your window to the pitch black street. Fake. Too quick, too late. Cause one. Mr. Beast here. That's catfish so me for real. Don't you know? Hold on. Let's just copy this one actually. Stay. Passive, I'm aggressive. Take note, it's not impressive. in your purse on the bedroom floor. You put your purse in reverse. Set free. Fake fan, man. Fake fan, no dots. Rushing my things. This is gonna take forever. Copy. Maybe not. Stay. Get dotted, yippee! It's not that bad. Hi, Gemini.
Did you know the hardest cult to join in the world has to be the difficult?
Oh. Fuck. Oh, it's so cute. The difficult? Is that supposed to be a cult also? Ha 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 ha. Look, America! Oh. It's so cute, man. Oh. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Great, thank you. Bury me till I confess. It took 4 hours? Man, that felt like it took for more than 4 hours. What? Oh, hell yes. Do the smallest I can be. Pocha, little Benjamin me. Look, America. Uh-oh. What was that thumbnail? What thumbnail? You mean this one? It's the animation I copied it from. For YouTube stream? Fish. This is a commission. Uh-oh. Am I gonna get sick again? No. Uh-oh. Fish. I'm kind of worried about this one. Specifically the mouth. I'm just not gonna make it super complicated, I think. Oh god. Alive. Yeah, I mean, that's all the art I wanted to do today, really. There's some backlog that I have for sketches and stuff, but I don't really want to do those. till I confess. Ah, what the hell? Ay, happy lurking raccoon. Ugh. I can move mountains. Remote kissing devices? What the hell is a remote kissing device? I'm scared. I can move mountains. I can walk a miracle. Can you feel like enough? Ah. Ah. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Those jetpack boots were mine. It's called what? What? My peace of mind. I'm tired. No. Don't even worry about it, bro. Yes, pilot. So maybe come home in a melody of tears. Ah. Ah, oh my god. Okay. Weekend EP. That's so fair and valid, bro. Don't you remember how we split our drink? It never mattered what it was, I think. Let's go play game. Try finishing misericorde today. Try. I need to wrap up in, I want to say 4 hours or 3. 2 if I'm not feeling good.
Bree, someone subbed with a prime.
Thank you for your Prime.
204 just subscribed with Prime. Thanks for the streams. I thought your second channel
Oh.
videos were cool.
Thank you. Glad you like them. Oh, not sure exactly. We'll see how I feel. We'll see how much I can get done today, or how much I can read today. I'm not feeling too confident about today, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I usually do push myself to do at least 3 hours of reading. What makes you wanna leave? I don't hate any of you. Thank you for the 10 straight stream strike. Wahoo! I'm just like sleepy today. So it'll be a sleepy reading session, perhaps. And sniffly. I'm quite sniffly today. Let me change the title of the YouTube live though. She was singing, baby, come home. Baby, come home. I actually haven't made the thumbnail for misericorde, which is surprising. Ban that guy, ban that guy. I'm kidding. Misericorde. Mm. You're singing, baby, come on. Baby, come on. Blur. Layer blur. Okay. Misery. Okay, lock in. I just finished my first glass of coffee today. I mean, I should be fine. Was it here where we left off? Okay, let me get comfy. And put this over here. Let me get the pillow. The fuck do you mean your kind? What are you implying? It was singing, baby, come home. Pretty girls. I know your tricks. I know your tricks. Alright. Where did we leave off? Let's do a quick summary for people who want to get caught up. As we usually do before we start these reading sessions. Last episode, Hedwig confronted Eustace about the cloth and the book that she found on her bed. And wait, should I start from the very beginning? Yeah. So after the misericorde night and slapping Eustace and all of that, the superior was like, well, you and Eustace need to get along. So you're gonna go on a little trip to the village to, one, make amends, and two, investigate like the claims of or just ask people about the stable boy who allegedly killed Catherine II, because Hedwig didn't want to admit to the superior that the stable boy and Catherine I were fucking when Catherine II died. But they're at the village now with Moira. And yes, that's pretty much where we left off. There was a little side thing where we went with Darcy to herd some sheep, but for the most part, that was the meat and bones of the last episode. Alright, everybody get comfy. Let me just change the game category. Myra had stopped the cart next to a wooden post on the edge of a very muddy road. Yuck. I should remember to wear boots. I remembered. Myra finished tying the donkey's rein to the post and enthusiastically lifted her robe to show off her boots. Wow, fancy. I didn't know there were any boots at the Abbey. What the fuck do they wear then? They're a must once it starts snowing. Ask the superior about it when you get a chance. Although, the ones we get typically aren't as posh as those. Hehehe. These were a gift. Lucky you. Hedwig, don't worry about the mud. Just get out of the cart. It looks really foul. Jump over here. It's not quite as mushy. I don't know. Just step down. It's really not that bad. I glanced between Eustace, whose robe was already getting muddy around the fringe, and Moira, who was enthusiastically gesturing at me from her position on a harder packed bit of road. Against my better instincts, I awkwardly positioned myself on the edge of the cart and... Ah, wow! Miraculously, I had landed on a sturdy bit of road. My legs, clearly still weak from my recent bouts of sprinting, screamed at me to never do that again, and gave way almost immediately in protest. Luckily, Myra caught me. My head crashed into her shoulders, and we stumbled together for a few steps before regaining our footing. Sorry. Don't be. Who would have known that we had a little acrobat tucked away in that cell? Yes, yes. Very well done. Unfortunately, I'm going to need both of you to step back over here so I can... to help me with the fritters. Man. Thankfully, we didn't need to lug the whole crate around. Well, we did end up having to traipse around in the mud to retrieve them. Darcy had organized the sweet treats into 3 cloth sacks for us to carry. I realized that the heaviest thing about our cargo had been the chest itself, which looked like it might have been able to withstand a catapult. Where should we start? One donkey was doing all that, was carrying 3 people and lugging that cart and that chest. That's kind of crazy. Eustace nodded towards a farmhouse not far from where our donkey was hitched. Here is as good a place as any. It's as good a place as... Oh, wow! We lugged our bags of baked goods towards the modest house. The land was just on the edge of the huge hill we had just ridden our way down. Donkey power. Jesus. A few trees dotted the well-grazed lawn, and a lone horse stood idly close to the stable. I couldn't help but feel that it looked deep in thought. As we approached, a side door to the house swung open. What's all this then? We come bearing gifts. Is that right? A woman emerged behind the gruff-looking man. Both of them looked cautious. Feels like it's been donkey's years since you lot came down here. Sister Moira and Sister Eustace, right? Eunice? Eustace, my lady. My apologies. I don't recognize this one. Oh, this is Sister Hedwig. She's new. I tried to say something, but all I could muster was a little noise. I waved instead. We heard about Catherine. Terrible thing that I can't help but feel responsible. Please don't. It's not your fault. James was a troubled boy well before we started looking after him. No helping some people, that's what I've learned. James lived here? Hi. My nephew. Always a little funny, that one, but I never would have... I didn't know he was that kind of blackguard. Lost his family in the war years ago. Aye. They were taken for spies traveling home one night. He'd be, what, 22? 23 now? He was supposed to be running the family in by now, but he wasn't cut out for being a landlord. Looks like a modern day dad. He really does. And he's doing the pose. You know, the pose they do when they're watching something on the TV. But don't want to sit down. On CBS soon. What would it be called? I'm not sure there's much of an inn left. Anyway, we took him in and put him to work on the farm. We do modest work here. A little bit of animal husbandry, but the real money is in stabling the horses for folk in town. James was a real helping hand on a good day, but he had a habit of running off whenever he felt like it. Sleeping in, being a nuisance in town. God rest him, but he was a sloppy worker. Terrible with animals. Never had more livestock go missing than when we left it up to him. We were doing something good taking him in. He had potential. Some people find their way later than others. I really do believe that. It was only right. But now, here we are. Not so modern family. If you're here to solicit donations, it'd only be right for us to be generous. Oh, that's so kind, but we're actually here to bring you something. Moira opened her bag and held it out to the couple. Whew, well now, did Sister Darcy make these? That's right. In that case, don't mind if I do. He and his wife happily took a pastry each. They bit into them and I could see a sense of relief overtake their worried faces. Crumbs, that's good. Too right. He took another bite. As he munched, he pointed a thick, calloused finger towards me. So, what's your story? It's not altogether very interesting. I heard about Catherine and I felt compelled to help. After all, she was the chronicler and I used to write all day, so she was our anchoress. Ah, I see. One of those hermits. I didn't know they could just up and stop. It's unusual, certainly. I imagine it must be quite strange leaving a position like that after so much time. Bro, he's so incredibly based! He might just be a modern man. Unless he says something racist. I mean, well... Asterisk. Were you born in there? No. I was very young when I started, though. What's your favorite thing about being free? Oh, don't upset her. She wasn't not free before. It's an important job, innit? That's right. Oh, I don't mean to offend. Still, though, it must be very different to be out and about all of a sudden. Hedwig is taking a real shine to her new work. Yes, she's really been putting her back into it. I couldn't tell if this was meant to be a jab at the altercation I thought we had just put behind us or not, but it irritated me all the same. Well, it's good to hear. I'm sorry I never made use of your services while you were anchored. Only it's quite a commitment getting up there and back. We had James make that trip more often than not. If there was one thing he was good for, it was that. Mail, supplies, that sort of thing. All that was his purview. I suppose he must have set his wicked sights on Sister Catherine. Maybe he was watching her this whole time. Best not to speculate. And don't blame yourselves. If it would make you feel better to make some sort of donation, I can let the superior know. Not that we came here to solicit that sort of thing, mind you. Oh no, of course not. I hope I didn't offend. Oh no. It'd only be right. It'd only be right, yes. I wanted very badly to tell these poor people that I had spoken with James and I was trying my very best to help him. Whatever joy the fritters had brought was nothing compared to the pain I could sense behind their rugged faces. These were delicious, by the way. Sister Darcy always was a talent. You lot should come down here more often. I agree. I suppose you'll be off to town to see the town now? Yes. Hopefully we brought enough of these. I won't bother you for seconds then. You have a good day now, sisters. I don't know how to say that. Ha, wow, wow, wow. We all exchanged nods. Eustace led the way past the farm back toward the road. That went better than I had feared. Really? I'd rather get cupped than do that again. Cupped? What is... Those poor people. They were really very sweet. How horrible for them, though. I only meant that, I don't know, in the cart ride down, I was half expecting to be met with swords and spears. Who says we won't be? We're not in the village proper yet. When you go to... Oh, when the ladies, measure your boobs, your booba, I stopped dead in my tracks. The buildings ahead of us loomed like some dark fortress's gate, and I suddenly became very aware once again that I was further from myself than I had ever been. Further than the hills, further than the hospitalum. Eustace, don't scare her. Sorry. I was just being glib. Are you ready, Hedwig? Hold on. I doubled over, still clinging to my bag of fritters. I tried my best to take deep breaths, but it was difficult. I was no longer in complete control of my faculties. She's gonna throw up. Hedwig, you can do it, Hedwig. I'm so far from home. You have friends with you. It's alright. What if I just drove the cart back myself? I could send someone else back down with it to collect you. I've had quite enough for a day, I think. Do you know how to drive a cart and a mule? It's going to be fine. Look, I was just grousing on the ride down. It's just silly personal drama. I probably made it seem bigger than it really is. At worst, it'll be a little awkward. You can handle awkward. I want to go back. Look, if someone's rude to you, you have my permission to slap them. Eustace. I took a particularly large gulp of air and stood up straight. Uh-oh. Look, you definitely shouldn't slap anyone here. It was funny. Okay. But seriously, do not. I won't. I would never. I guess I got lucky. Are you ready? Let's get this over with, shall we? For some fritters right now. What is a fritter? Entering the village proper was immediately dizzying. I had only just started growing accustomed to the size and scope of the abbey, but now I was surrounded by buildings and streets that were unto themselves their own little abbeys. Despite being spread out between buildings, courtyards, gates, and windows, I had been able to think about Lynnborough Abbey as one place. But not really a donut. So what's the difference? Leaving my cell had been painful, but I was at least still in a world I could understand. I could not bring myself to think about the village in the same way, even though it was the village of Lynnborough. I tried to stretch my understanding to include all of these places in my head as Lynnborough, but it was impossible. I had no idea how Eustace and Moira could walk so calmly between shops and houses and inns and not feel terrified. Does that sound mad? It sounds mad to say out loud. But it really was impossible to comprehend. One could not walk, I presumed, from one house to another the way I was allowed in the abbey. The only place I was restricted from going was the back of Eustace's library, which was really only a request. Fritters can have meat? What? I thought it was like a sweet treat. I don't know. Well, can donuts be savory? I guess not. A savory donut would be weird. I watched people knocking on doors and waiting for someone to invite them in. Nope. I saw men standing impatiently outside of shops waiting for proprietors to return. Everyone, it seemed, was beholden to the terms of some uneasy peace treaty. Everyone was the king of their own little castle. Like apple fritters. I've heard about apple fritters, but not meat fritters or corn fritters. Living like this would make me even more miserable than the Abbey did. As we passed people in the street, we would offer them fritters from our bags. Most conversation was short, if there was conversation at all. Moira was perfectly chipper, and Eustace maintained her usual calm demeanor through even the more brusque encounters. The rudest people acted as if we weren't even there. One even bumped Eustace on the shoulder, and I'm sure it was on purpose. Eustace didn't react at all, save for a quietly muttered curse word I dare not repeat. Fuck! Or bitch! Or cunt! Breakfast sandwich made of donut instead of bagel would be delicious. That's the most insane thing I've ever heard. But donuts are sweet, or meant to be sweet. For my own part, I was doing my best to keep up the act. I dragged my feet in lockstep with my cohorts. I went through the motions of lifting up the bag. I didn't speak unless I absolutely needed to. I forced a smile to each passerby instead, hoping it would be enough. Is a fritter. Quack quack is a fritter? Egg fritter? What? That's weird. Never call it a fritter ever again. My cheeks were already numb by the end of the first street. Goodness, we still have so many left. Darcy made too many, as usual. That's just like her. Very kind. Is there something wrong with her making lots? Huh? No, of course not. No. It's sweet how excited she gets about helping out. Ah. Not every observation about someone is a criticism. Oh, be nice. Weren't you just getting snitty about Hedwig calling you... I can't even remember now. Inscrutable? That wasn't really a criticism either. What the fuck kind of slur is this? it's... it's a food. It's a street food in the Philippines. Also, hi Rabbit, how you doing? Good morning. Or, I guess it's evening. It seemed that Moira was the only one of us having any fun. We trudged through more streets, passing out fritters and knocking on doors. Not a single person had anything to say beyond a courtesy greeting and thanks. And many people didn't even have those to spare. I don't think anyone's home. Just try one more time. I feel terrible if you missed someone. Not a peep. All of a sudden, I was soaked. It happened so fast that I didn't even realize what happened at first. It felt as if someone had boxed me around the ears. Hedwig! What in... Ah! Is this... Oh, it's still dripping. Okay, I was worried because around this time they didn't have plumbing, right? So, like, they would just throw out their shit and piss buckets out the window. So, I was worried. An unconcerned looking woman was looking down at us from the window above, holding a still dripping laundry bucket. My apologies, miss. I didn't see you down there. I didn't see you three down there. What? Of course not. It's very easy to miss nuns at the door. Well, there's no need for sarcasm, miss. Neither Eustace nor Moira had gotten very wet at all. I, however, was covered head to toe. There was an unpleasant fausty smell coming from the water, and I realized that my bag of fritters was sopping as well. Would you like a fritter, madam? No, thank you, miss. Of course, madam. Oh, just be off then. Have a good day, miss. The woman retreated from the window without so much as an apologetic glance in my direction. Well, at least it was water. Here, Hedwig. Let me carry that. Oh, no. If you're sure. Eventually, we came to a square with several diverging streets. Eustace leaned against the wall, looking fed up. Moira looked as if she had finally noticed that Eustace and I were not as sociable as she was. Her pleasant smile morphed into an expression altogether more concerned. How are you two doing? I just want to get this over with. Yes, I've had quite enough of this, to be honest. Nobody seems to even care that we're here. Maybe it'd be best to just cut our losses and go home. We can't do that. No, that wouldn't be right. Why not? Both of you had horrible things to say about the people here on the way down. Not so loud. And with all honesty, I must agree with them now. And now you're dedicated to finishing a completely thankless task for them? Why? She has a point. I mean, I don't love the idea of telling the superior we gave up, but we really can't go back until we've finished. Why not? Eustace. Moira motioned for Eustace to come closer and whispered something into her ear through her hood. Ah, right. I'm sorry, Hedwig, but we really need to do this job properly. I know it's difficult. What's going on? Nothing. It's really nothing. What kind of fool do you take me for? What do you tell her? Hedwig, why does nobody treat me with any sort of respect? Am I so difficult to explain things to? Would my little fragile mind simply burst if you explained whatever you told her to me as well? Hi, Guy. Thank you for the 20 stream streak. Wouldn't have guessed. Calling you an undipped quack. What the fuck? You're just calling me an egg then. Fuck you. Okay. How's it going? It's going. I'm pretty tired though. I need to grab a snack soon, I think. How's your evening going? No, Hedwig, please. You're making a scene again. Moira took a step forward, positioning herself between Eustace and myself. Hedwig, I don't think you're foolish or difficult or anything like that. So what did you tell her? I can't say. The fury I had been nursing before the cart was back in full force, and this time I could not control it. Well, okay, I mean, to be fair to her, she's soaking wet with laundry water right now, so her crash out is perfectly valid at the moment. I raised my hand and Moira flinched but stood her ground. I did not hit her, of course, although I would not like to dwell on how close I came. Instead, I jabbed a finger to her face to gesticulate angrily. Gesticulate! Define, please! Was that scream from the game or from Doomy's stream? To make gestures, especially while speaking, for emphasis. Gesticulate. So you're lying then. No, Hedwig, don't. Oh, how like Elijah I felt, not bald but nonetheless belittled and insulted for things outside of my control. Hi, Zai. It's going. How to gesticulate. You're right, I don't know how to gesticulate. And I would rather not. Yes. Like Italians, yes, with the hands. Connection's bad. Okay, no worries. Good luck at work today. I cursed Moira, I cursed Eustace, I cursed the whole town for all to hear. We need to get her back to the Abbey. This isn't healthy for her. But I hope Angela is right about bears. Huh? I said I hope Angela is right about the bloody bears. I don't follow. Eustace was non-pulsed, but Moira had pieced my admittedly cumbersome insult together. Tears were— oh no. You don't really mean that, Hedwig. Her sniffling caught me off guard. Before I had a chance to feel sorry, she stormed off away from the town square. Her bag of fritters was still in her hand, and I remembered that it bounced so inelegantly that it would have been funny in any other situation. No one likes Italians? You're crazy. Eustace cast a mild yet dark expression at me. If you wanted to get back to the Abbey sooner, you should have kept that little tantrum to yourself. What did she tell you? Never you mind. She hoisted her bag over her shoulder and made to follow Moira. Stay put. I'll clean up this mess. Wait, you're leaving me alone? Yes. But oh, that's silly. Let me come with you. I'm sorry about all that. This is just so different and— stay put. Why? Because I don't really want to be around you right now. But we're friends still, right? We said so. You said so in the cart. Oh man, my god, bro. I feel really bad for Hedwig, cause like she didn't want to be a part of any of this in the first place. Like she was forced out of her little cell. She was forced to be some sort of investigator or detective just because the fucking superior was like, well, you're the only one who has an unbiased view of the Abbey, so it's your job now. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Just do it yourself. You're fucking dragging this other person into your own business, your responsibility, and now she has to deal with these with being shoved into such new and overwhelming circumstances that not gonna lie, I keep saying it, but this crash out and all of her crash outs are so valid, bro. She can't even tell these other sisters like, yeah, I'm just here to spy on you guys because the fucking superior can't be fucked to deal with you. Jesus, man. The amount of crashing the fuck out I display is on another level. I know, right? Like, to be honest, she's pretty, like, mild so far. I would like to think. Is likable. I mean, like Darcy is the most palatable one for Hedwig so far, because like Moira is okay, but she's like super social, but Darcy is like she's also sociable, but she's at least like calm, if that makes sense. Like Eustace is calm but in a condescending way. Moira just wants to be around people and like super proactive, if that makes sense, which could be overwhelming for someone like Hedwig. It only hits someone. That's what I'm saying, man. If I was put into Hedwig's situation, I'd be throwing hands left and fucking right. If I met Angela for the first time and that was like my first interaction with her was as bad as Hedwig's, the second time I meet her, she would be getting smacked. Oh. I'm just saying, Hedwig, so far, I can't blame her for being mad. And, like, I feel like the sisters are not being as understanding, or what's the word, graceful or gracious as they should be for someone 20 years! 20 years of not talking to anybody face to face, just in a cell, spending your days just writing shit, memorizing shit, drawing, and praying. That's all she's done. It's... Come on, man. I don't fuck with the alcohol. What? You're so close to getting banned. No, I'm kidding. You're this close, buddy. I'm joking. Oh shit, wait. Did I read that? I don't know. I was left all alone in the town square, my frock still dripping mildewy water onto the cobblestones. I let the wet sack of food fall on the ground and sat on a low wall. I gripped the bricks, sorry, I'm scratching my eye. Digging my fingers into the hard stone and biting my own lip, trying not to cry. Was my behavior so out of line? I deeply regretted upsetting Myra, but I had withstood just about enough for... Seriously! She got drenched in laundry water and they were like, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? I don't care whatever the fuck that Myra said to Eustace cannot excuse what they're doing. The unconsiderateness is so annoying, bro. I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed right now. Okay. If I was going around with my church mates giving out pastries because of like some sort of mission trip or whatever, and I got dumped fucking piss water or laundry, it might as well be piss water because of how dirty the laundry was back then. And they're like, let's keep going because we have to finish this. And then I was like, I'd be like, well, I'm soaking wet. Can we go back, please? And then they whisper to each other something. I would crash the fuck out. I get so mad. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean we have to keep going? I'm soaking wet and you're not telling me what's so important about having to keep going? Fuck you. I'll crash out. I crash out. To complete, they fucking whispered to... Yeah, that's what I'm saying! Also, hi Mel. Was everyone pissing themselves? Everybody was covered in animal feces or piss because, you know, they had to take care of animals to sell or to just take care of. So I bet they smelled that. They also didn't take many showers because water was scarce. Or not scarce, but hard to come by. We're all whispering about you. Fuck you! Also, Daki's live. Does he go live at around this time now? What the hell? Sorry, I wanted to crash out for Hedwig. She's so valid for all of this. Oh my gosh. I was in a strange place where strange things were happening to me. That's also... Sorry, every time we read a sentence, that's also another thing! This is basically a foreign country to her, man. On top of everything. And not the good kind. What's the good kind, bro? What? Around this time, yes. Interesting. What is an isopod? Working on my isopod model. Sorry, I'm lurking it in another person's stream. They're a live 2D rigger. And they're setting up a model right now and I was watching. Anyways, where's my mouse at? And now I was all alone. Every now and then, one of the townsfolk would walk through the square, but they paid me no mind. A dog wandered over to me and I froze. I had never seen one before. I recognized it instantly, but I was scared stiff. Even if it was a farm animal, I couldn't help but notice its sharp teeth and animal eyes. Phew, I'm not food. The hound ignored my pleas and began snuffling around my legs. I held my breath as it rudely prodded my stomach with its snout all of a sudden. Please, please, please go away. I yelped as the creature drew itself up on its hind legs and rested its front paws on my knees. What? Not daring to move in case it felt like tearing me to pieces, I whimpered as it continued sniffing. After a genuinely harrowing handful of moments, it finally decided I didn't seem all that tasty and returned to the ground, not before licking my face for good measure. I was relieved that I was spared from becoming its dinner, but why are you laughing? I was frightened. The dog was just being nice, dude. I could have been eaten. A dog. Really now. Anyway, the beast turned its attention to the sack of fritters on the ground. Can dogs eat fritters? I suppose that it had smelled those first and had been looking for them the whole time. It had been assaulting me, but nonetheless, it had given me an awful fright. Even still, I felt the creature deserved more than dirty fritters. Leave those alone. They're foul and soggy. The dog paid me no mind and wrestled with the sack until the contents spilled out onto the stone. Immediately, the dog began scarfing down huge bites of the sodden pastries, which were quickly becoming one big, messy blob. Oh, I suppose I had no reason to stop it. At the very least, it wasn't eating my face. Dogs just eat stuff. Yeah, but what if there was some ingredient in there that, you know... Yeah. All dogs can eat stuff at least once. So you're saying this dog is gonna die. Does that not bother you? Is there nothing better for you to eat? A reason that the dog probably had no reason to care that the food was soaked through with dirty water. I sat and watched it eat. It was deeply unpleasant, but I couldn't look away. Moist crumbs fell out of its mouth as it chomped loudly. The food was being lapped up over and over. Ow, what the ow! Ow. Sweet drink. I don't think they had chocolate in the Abbey. And lard, pretty much. So this is fine. And sugar? I mean, like sugar glaze or something? Did they know what glaze was before? I don't know. Eventually, however, the laundry water seemed to win. The dog made a shuddery, spasming motion that made me flinch reflexively. I was unsure if it was about to wheel around to attack me. Instead, it made a ghastly hacking sound. Half-chewed slop poured out of his mouth. The fetid mountain of ruined pastry grew ever larger. Yet it kept eating. It paid no mind to what assuredly must have tasted even worse after coming out than before it went in. Had this creature been a man, I would have begged him to stop. But all I could do was watch it continue to regurgitate and reconsume the horrid slop of sweet pastries. And reconsume the horrid slop the sweet pastries had become. Then I heard the sound of trumpets. A mule and a wooden cart had arrived in town square. No driver sat in the front seat. A wooden pole sat in place of a rider, reaching up into the sky. I moved my gaze up the pole to see that a large flag, or perhaps a kite, was drifting idly in a midday breeze. I held my breath as the cart passed me by. Another cart passed me by, and then another, each flying a new color, a different flag, a new kite. They drove in circles around the square. I think there were a dozen in all. The dog chased at the tails of the mules as they walked past, dodging out of the way of the wheels at the last possible moment each time one came too close. In between each cart's passing, the little creature would return to its prized mound of filth for another bite, before getting distracted again by the next donkey's tail. The trumpets blew again, this time much louder, deeper, more mournful. A new kite joined the procession, this time not a simple flapping cloth, but an intricately adorned effigy. A man. His face was chiseled handsomely, his expression stoic. Two poles held this effigy aloft. One one in each of the man's wounded hands. As this cart passed me, the effigy's head turned to face me. His eyes met with mine and I realized it was no effigy at all, but a real figure. His gaze felt terrifying and peaceful all at once, and he beckoned me to follow him. The dog had disappeared, only its horrid meal remained. I took care to avoid stepping in it as I left my perch on the low wall and followed the cart as it peeled away from the procession from the square. I assumed it continued behind me, I do not know. I was transfixed by the cart ahead of me. I followed the cart and its floating rider through empty streets. I felt disconnected from my body, as if my footsteps were happening after I had already performed the next. I was drifting over cobblestones. I felt as light as the man above the cart did. The sight of the effigy had already made me weep, but I could feel a confused urge to burst into sobs welling up inside. But I also felt light, calm, and even joyous. I felt everything there possibly was to feel at once. As the cart reached a dead end, however, I felt a moment of doubt. I did not want the sensation to end. I doubled back, hoping the cart would turn and lead me again, and it did no such thing. I felt a brief moment of panic as I turned around to perhaps coax the man to follow me and saw that it had disappeared. I gasped and lunged again, hoping I just missed it passing. No such luck. I spun around again and again until I realized that I was no longer touching the ground. I floated above the village. I could see all of the streets, all of the houses, all of the nasty little fiefdoms and people who ruled them. I was being pulled up and up by some force that I knew I had to give myself over to. This was right. This is where I needed to be. The strange sensation that I was being tugged up by the scruff of my neck eventually gave way to a feeling of blissful control. What is going on? I was flying. She's what? Bro. Just decided to follow whatever's interesting in sight. My gosh, she's gonna die in here. I was flying now, just as the man above the cart had been. I was flying higher, in fact, and all the people below me could see what the cruelty and indifference had wrought. Oh, this is like Elisha. My she's going bald, you guys. My ascendants, their abandonment. But then I felt that hand around my neck again, firmer this time, more assertive. I was dragged by the throat the rest of the way up to my destination, a plateau above the village overlooking the lake. I struggled to breathe. My breath was ragged. I begged with whatever it was that held me to let me go. Eventually, I was flung to the grass. I felt my back. I fell on my back into the cold dew, my head crashing against the dirt. I felt a ripple of pain emanate from the back of my skull all the way out through my whole body. I could not move anymore. I stared into the clouds. They were a deep gray, heavy with rain. They covered the sky almost completely, save for a bright spot growing brighter above me. What the hell? She's having a vision then. The clouds parted and the man I had followed appeared between them. He was gigantic, magnificent, terrifying. His piercing stare kept me pinned to the ground. The trumpet sounded one final time. Top left? What thing on the top left? You mean right? The man finally blinked, and with slow and regal grace he withdrew between the black rain clouds that flanked him. It began to pour. I was all alone. Oof. The name of the star is Wormwood. I got an achievement. What the freaky? What the freak? What the hell? They were freaky, bro. What the? Sorry, you guys are getting flashbanged. Wandering. Sister? I thought I saw you wandering up the hill. Are you alright? You'll catch a cold if you stay out here too long. Come on, up you get. Though, it's gotten into you. It's a good thing I stepped outside when I did. I hate to think what would have happened if you'd gotten stuck up there all by your lonesome. You feel quite clammy. Where'd your friends get to? Did you get lost? You were the new one, eh? Easy to do around here. I still have to second guess myself sometimes if I wander further than the inn. We can send you up to the abbey once you're warmed up. Are you hungry? I'll tell the wife that we have the guest. Lucky enough, we've always kept enough around for 3. From the Book of Revelations. Wait, what? Wormwood? Here you are. Well, eat at your own pace. You should eat, though. Climbing that hill all by yourself. That's hard work. In those shoes, no less. Did something happen? She looks quite dazed. Miss. Sister. Did someone get rough with you? Or did you have a fall, perhaps? I imagine it'd be easy. That path hasn't been taken care of in donkey's years. Is there anything we should tell your abbess? Eat out clear. This is not on. One of those towny bastards mistreated her. They won't hear the end of it. She's shaking her head. Thank God for that. You try to eat something. Whatever's happened clearly rattled you. Catherine. The dead woman? No. She means our Catherine. Birthmark on her face. Say so. I'm rubbish at remembering that sort of thing. The tall woman from the estate. You remember. So she really did take the vows. Well, I'll be. Yes. She lives in the abbey now. I could not bring myself to look at them. Do you think she could kill someone? What sort of question is that? Well, yes. Harold, it's common knowledge. Even still. You're upsetting her. She's clearly a little touched right now. What is common knowledge? She's clearly a little special right now. Well, Harold, do not upset her any further. She killed her husband, didn't she? Now look at what you've gone and done. Who was her husband? The lord of the estate by the lake. It was a terrible scandal. And there was proof. No, not that I know of. But it's proof enough, I suppose, that she opted to take the veil. We should stop talking about this. It's not proper. Why would she kill him? Had something to do with infidelity, if I remember right. Not spoken of anymore. The whole village put it behind them when she left. And who is the lord of the estate now? Truth be told, I can't be asked to keep up with titles and whatnot. The new lord only visits occasionally, I think. A house with a murder like that hanging over it. I can't imagine it's very comfortable to stay there very long. How did Catherine's husband die? She cut his head clean off with his own sword. Or so they said. I wasn't there, so I couldn't tell you for sure. But one way or another, he ended up without his noggin. Nasty business. Nasty place in general, this hill. Something here must drive folks mad, I reckon. First Catherine, then our James. Rich or poor, something will grab you. I'd move, but that's a task easier said than done. They spoke so freely of the horrid crime. It was common knowledge, even. The answer, it seemed, had been available to me all this time. Several simple questions were all I needed to ask. At the wife's urging, I tried to eat a little more of the pottage they had so kindly provided. It didn't take, however. I was elsewhere still. I felt shame. Shame for how long it had taken me to make any forward momentum on my task. For Catherine's sake. Shame for how simple the connections I had needed to make seemed now. I felt shame that it had taken a vision to put me on this path. What I had just experienced was a divine course correction. What the hell? The kind of thing reserved, I imagined, for good sailors lost at sea or troops wandering in the desert. That I had been deemed worthy of this kind of direct messaging from God spoke very highly of Catherine. Surely, I felt, there were more important people to be helping than I. Perhaps I had been aided in their stead. Perhaps there was a prayer out there left unanswered because I was too foolish to do a very simple job. Perhaps as impossible... My god. I'm sorry. This is so self-deprecating and depressing. It's hard. It's making me sad. It's making me sad, and I don't want to finish reading it. Perhaps, as impossible as it may seem to suggest, I was stupid enough to put a strain on God's omnipresence. Matthew 6:28. Blah blah blah. Perhaps I am lower than a lily, which thrives while wanting for nothing. Hehe, so dramatic, kinda. Bro, you're so sad. Stop it. But was I? Am I wrong to think it? God provides for all, and God is not limited to any one action at one given time. Still, I feel sometimes that I could just be that wretched. Of course, as I remind myself in a better mood, that's conceited talk. Yeah, man. Or perhaps I am allegorizing the flowers and the birds too heavily, as Augustine warns us about. Who am I to complain after all? I have suffered far less than Job, yet here I am lamenting more than he ever did. Crazy to compare yourself to a person from the Bible. Whether I am damned or just conceited, there is no path that leads me away from shame. Ah, that must be your friends. The man stood up to get the door. I did not turn around. I was deep in thought, staring in the fireplace. The flames were more comforting, more understanding, more understandable than any pair of eyes that I had ever looked into. I could hear pleasantries being exchanged, footsteps on the wooden floor. I could feel two cold, wet presences approaching me. Soon I would have to leave the comfort of the fireside to join them. Hedwig, Sister Moira, Sister Eustace, can you forgive me? Bro, it was pointless to wait for a break in the rains, or so my companion said. The ride back up the hill to the abbey was much soggier than the trip down. Some other travelers in carts, flanked by armored horsemen, passed us by at the village outskirts. They looked just as miserable as I felt. I could hear raindrops blinking against their helmets as they hurried into town. We sat in silence for the first third or so. I looked out of the back of the car towards the farmhouse chimney, yearning for the security of that fireplace until the building was out of sight entirely. I told the superior this was a bad idea, you know. You were wrong. Oh, yes, I learned something very important today. Really now. Yes. Yes, it would be difficult to explain. We have time. Now, Eustace. I've already forgiven the poor woman. There's no need to torment her. Not tormenting her. I'm curious. Well, after After we split up, I watched a parade go by. Was a parade? No. There wasn't. I had finally given up on trying to stare into the increasingly distant fireplace and turned to face Eustace. She looked tired. What do you mean, a parade? I mean exactly that. I'm sure you can understand. I had a vision. Really now. Yes, I swear. I'm so sick of you, Eustace! I'm so sick of you! Get rid of her! My god! Jesus! Yes, I swear it. I saw a parade, a procession of carts with no riders, all carrying grand kites and banners. And one of them, I thought at first, carried an effigy. But it was, well, it got more mysterious after that, I suppose. That's what I'm saying! Why is Darcy so friendly with you, bro? Ah! Well, gosh. She's so rude all the time for no reason. Just for the sake of being rude, man. Fuck you. What happened? Yes, tell us. This is very interesting. Well, she's a fucking Redditor. That's what she is. That's why she's pissing me so off so much, bro. A Redditor and an Elon Musk stan. Well, I followed that particular cart for a while. I suppose that was how I ended up wandering away from the town square. Bro, isn't she like... Why isn't she amazed, Eustace, I mean, that Hedwig even remembers her visions at all? Because Catherine didn't remember any of her visions, and Darcy doesn't remember any of her visions either. Fuck you! I'm so pissed off. She's kind of real for you. Man! She's Mona, basically a rage baiter, man. Fuck this. Fuck you. Understandable. I did tell you to stay put, but I might make an exception for a vision. Eventually I lost him, but I was carried through the air. You know, it sounds quite strange. And then, whatever courage the fire had given me had finally waned. I could not bring myself to explain the entirety of my experience to Eustace, whose expression remained, dare I say it, inscrutable. That's fucking... ISW. And then I came to, I suppose... I'm not quite sure how to describe it. You flew? You walked. That farmer saw her climbing the hill. Do you not believe me? I believe you felt like you were flying. I felt it. I saw it. I was in the air, however briefly. The man said he found you lying down in the grass on the top of the hill, getting soaked by the rain. I know it's hard to believe, but it's what happened. Eustace sighed deeply and pulled her hood tighter over her head. People don't fly. Perhaps flying is the wrong word. I was being carried. It's not like I had control of my faculties in the air. Like you were plucked from the earth by God's own hand. Well, yes. Moira, the man saw her climbing the hill. So he says. Maybe he saw her after she came back to the ground. Or maybe both things are completely true. How would that even work? Well, Hedwig could have been carried, and maybe the farmer was shown an image of her climbing. I mean, she would have been far away from the house. Just sort of a shape, and so he would have to go up and find her. So God carried Hedwig up the hill and showed an image of her to a man who was already nearby. Two divine revelations within, I don't know, 10 or 15 meters of each other. Darcy has visions all the time. Why is Hedwig having one so hard to believe? So now we have 3 people in close proximity all having grand visions. It does beggar belief, just a tad. Release me! Release me! Get me off this cart from you. Take me away from you right now. Yeah, I'm so frustrated, bro. It's so over. I'm so like upset right now. She's like Man. Whew. They are fair questions, but she's just being such a bitch about it. She's like, so you left the place so you left when I told you to stay put, and the farmer found you out here soaking in the rain. What did you think was gonna happen? That she was just gonna stay put? Whatever. I think it's beautiful. Maybe this mountain is just special. Eustace let the squelching of the mud beneath the cartwheels answer for her. I just think it's possible, that's all. At any rate, it's a moot point to argue. I don't think Hedwig is lying. I just don't know if I can accept that it really happened. What about Darcy's visions? You've got quite an interest in those, haven't you? Darcy's are different. In what sense? Well, she's never claimed to be flying in any of hers. What does happen in hers, typically? Why don't you ask her and spare me the Inquisition? She doesn't remember! She never remembers! It was uncalled for. It's been a long afternoon. You can say that again. Can we all please make up before we get back to the Abbey? I like that. I'm sorry for being so hysterical. You're not hysterical. Finally! It was a cruel idea to force you into coming, I think. I'm sorry for insisting we stay longer. Fucking whatever, man. You still piss me off. I wanted to tell Meyer she didn't know the half of it. She didn't deserve to worry about having forced me to do anything when the superior demanded it in the first place. No, my behavior was inexcusable. It was as it is all too often. I thought I caught a glimpse of Eustace rolling her eyes. Let me at her! At the corner of my eye, but perhaps she was just adjusting her spectacles. I can appreciate that this trip was an extenuating circumstance. Yes, I think next time I will stay at the Abbey if that's all the same to you. We should at least take you on a picnic or some such. Small steps, you know? You can't stay cooped up in the Abbey forever. Bro, she stayed cooped up in a cell for 20 years. You can't just force her out of that. That's literally what she thinks her calling is. Like, leave her alone. I thought that was rather the point. Oh, you know, you have a dark sense of humor sometimes, Hedwig. There was no handshake this time, but I did not feel like I should push things any further. Also, hi Nate. The rest of the ride up the Abbey was silent, but at the very least, it was a slightly less uncomfortable silence than the one preceded this conversation. Let's think about others' feelings. Well, yeah, but we never really talked to her like this. Like, we never talked to her this much. Other than being in the library. Or that time, she did that prank. I need to go pee. I'll be back. Hold on. back. I didn't like the uncertainty, but it would have to do. Yeesh. Surely that little pause, key break would calm me down. Surely. The rain was showing no signs of letting up when we finally arrived. I was particularly bedraggled. The indignity of the laundry water incident was something that would stick with me permanently, and as soon as I hopped out of the cart, I made a beeline for the dorms to change. Oh, Hedwig. Where are we off to now? The dormitory? Are you stupid? Okay, it didn't calm me down. The dormitory. I must get out of these wet robes or I'll never be dry again in my life. Why don't I draw a bath? I had to admit that sounded like a wonderful idea. You know, I think I would like a bath very much. We all would, after an outing like that, I think. What day is it again? November 21st, I think. Perfect. I froze. I had not realized that Moira had meant we should all bathe together at once, and I did not like that idea at all. Perhaps I'll have one tomorrow. Nonsense. You'll catch a cold if you don't. Do we even have time to heat up water for it? With any luck, someone else already had a bright idea to take a bath today. I couldn't help myself. I pulled my hood over my eyes. What's the matter? I suspect. Well, you don't have to join us, Hedwig, but I think it'd be a good idea. Well, oops. Well, that decides it. Cursed my wretched body. I would have escaped this humiliation if it weren't for that little sneeze. I'm sure of it. Oh, go on then. You two run up and get your change of frocks. Eustace, would you mind getting mine? On it. We made our way up the stairs to the dorms quickly, dripping water all along the way. Darcy! I missed you, bro. Get me out of here. Help me. Oh, good. You're back. I was just looking for you, Eustace. Hello, Darce. You have a minute? I need your help with something. Of course. Hedwig, would you mind getting Moira's clothes? Hers is the door between Catherine and Darcy's. Oh, yes, I can do that. Eustace nodded and Darcy hobbled away back down the staircase. Eustace stopped for a moment on the landing, however, and turned to me. That reminds me. You should talk to Darcy later, you know? About your vision. Oh, yes, I'll try to remember to do so. Eustace nodded and disappeared down the stairs after Darcy. I quickly scooped up my dry frock from my dormitory. No suspiciously placed books on my dorm bed, I noted. I felt wrong to intrude in Moira's room, but at this point I desired nothing more than to get this whole exercise over with as quickly as possible. I opened her door and slipped inside, on the lookout for her spare clothes immediately. The last thing I wanted to do was gawk at somebody else's room uninvited. I could not help but notice how neat and tidy it was, however. There was a beautifully carved crucifix hanging on the wall above her pillow, and her reading desk was meticulously stocked with papers. A handsome quill sat next to an ink pot as well. To cap it all off, there was a beautiful little box resting on the desk next to the organized papers. The wood was clearly expertly carpentered, and it was gilded in a regal yet So she's rich! So she came from a rich family. The whole room had a sense of carefully considered elegance to it. It was perfectly fitting for Moira. Simple but radiant. Not vain but reverent. Please do not tell Moira I described her as simple. I did not mean it as an insult. Yeah, let me just text her. Approachable, uncomplicated, steadfast in her positivity. The bath situation is a perfect example of what I'm... Bro, don't worry about it. I had been so cruel to her in the village, and to be perfectly honest, Eustace wasn't exactly kind to her in the cart either. But Moira's instinct was to bring us closer together. There's a simple beauty to that. I think so, at least. Anyway, I quickly identified an impeccably folded set of clothes next to her bed, underneath the pillow. I scooped them up quickly. As I turned around, however... no. The pile of clothes I was carrying, I think, had brushed up against the quill resting atop her desk, which tumbled over... I watched it tumble end over end to the floor, carrying the ink pot with it. Oh man. Black liquid oozed out of the pile of broken glass. I scurried away and closed the door behind me in a panic. I checked the bottom of my shoes. There was nothing there, thank God. In reality, it was dead silent. But I promise you I could hear the bubbling, oozing, dripping of the undoubtedly expensive ink I had just splashed all over the floor behind the door. If it's not one thing, it's always another with me. Was I being punished for dawdling once again? Should I have empathetically refused the offer of a bath and instead made a beeline to the superior's office? Should I have gone then, at that very moment? Truthfully, I only came to that conclusion a bit later. In the actual moment, all I could think about was what to say to Moira, or if I could say anything at all. It's shameful to admit, but I was quite frankly terrified of putting any strain on our relationships at all after my embarrassing display in town. Moira was endlessly forgiving, but I worried that even I could find an end to her graciousness if I kept imposing upon her. And so I decided I would leave this. I couldn't leave quickly enough. I practically flew down the stairs. Suddenly I was very eager to get into a bath. Anything was better than being caught red-handed with a broken bottle of ink. Bro, not Darcy. Eustace is just gonna say you were in her room. With a broken bottle of ink, even burying myself in front of Moira and Eustace. Moira had already been in the tub by the time I arrived. She beamed as I entered the room. I kept my eyes low and deposited her change of clothes to the edge of the wooden tub. Ah, was Eustace waylaid? Yes, Darcy needed her for something. Well, thank you kindly. I realized there were two tubs similar to the one I had used to my bath the first time out of my cell. At the very least, I was relieved I was about to submerge myself in water, then stand awkwardly in one of the many smaller wash basins stacked against the wall. I had been using those to wash myself whenever I could squeeze in a trip to the baths alone after I'd discovered, to some horror, that communal bathing was considered the norm here. I thought 2 big tubs might be nice. The water's not hot, but it's pleasant. You fill these up fast. A miracle of engineering. This abbey is quaint, I will say, but I'm thankful for the thorough plumbing. The builders didn't skimp on that, at the very least. She raised an arm to point at the wall behind her, and I instinctively shut my eyes. Don't be silly. Anyway, the faucets are back there. Look quick. I had a faucet in my own cell, actually. But I didn't know it was connected to anything greater. Oh. You should take a walk around the cistern one of these days. It's quite fascinating. It's the oldest building here, if you can believe it. 200 years old at least. And it serves the kitchen, the baths, the lavatorium, and keeps it all separate. I'm glad to hear it's all separate. I never feel comfortable here otherwise, but apparently it's not far from the kind of water management you'd find in the richest castles. Truly, we are blessed. It might not always feel that way, but yes, I think we are. How does it work? I must admit I couldn't tell you. Catherine showed me a diagram she found in the library once, but it was a bit complicated for me. I know much more about how bodies work than buildings, I'm afraid. Speaking of, she leveled a finger at me with a mischievous glint in her eye. Are you going to get in the bath? You're looming a bit. Oh, well, go on. I'll shut my eyes, I promise. She squeezed her eyes shut in a fashion that she might have intended to be jovial, but I couldn't help feel condescended to. Nevertheless, I sighed and began to gingerly shed my layers. I balled up my damp clothes next to the empty tub and then stepped in as quickly as I could. If I could avoid being seen at all, that would have been grand. I take it you're in. I am. The water was not as warm as the bath Darcy had drawn for me after I had first left my cell, but it was still a relief to sink into it. Moira opened her eyes again, blinking comically. This is nice. Indeed. I sank as low as I could and pulled my knees up to my chest. With my chin resting in the water, I could peer at Moira over the lip of the tub. I did not want to be seen, but I also did not want to be rude. So at the very least, I maintained eye contact. Black and blue. Excuse me? Oh, I'm sorry. I was just thinking out loud. Your humors, they're black and blue, aren't they? Well, mostly black. With a little phlegm for color. Does that sound about right? No points. For guessing that, I reckon. Eustace had appeared in the doorway. She was already removing her hood as the door closed. I looked away out of modesty as soon as I saw she was casually shedding all of her clothes and haphazardly tossing them aside as she walked. Hehe. Well, it's my job to notice these things. Fuck. Do me next. That's easy. You're as phlegmy as they come, with as much yellow bile sloshing around in there for good measure. You're like a big, clever soup. Goodness gracious. When are we eloping? Moira laughed, and I could hear her flick some water in Eustace's direction. Then I realized something that gave me an instant sinking feeling. Well then, who am I sharing with? Oh, good question. I didn't really think about that. Hurry up and decide. I'm getting nippy. Can we not get a third tub? We only have the two big ones. We could play a game to decide. Too late. I made my mind up. I braced myself, but the splashing sounds that followed came from the other tub. I opened my eyes to see Eustace, looking as nonplussed as ever, sitting next to Moira, who seemed wholly unperturbed. Thank God, I thought. I've never seen you without your cap, Hedwig. I guess you'd had black hair, but I suppose I'm surprised to see it. Really, I feel like I knew the moment I saw her. Are my humors that pronounced? Yes, but whose aren't? You put much more stock in that sort of thing than I do, I suppose. Well, it is my duty to know. True enough. What color do you think my hair is, Hedwig? You're always wearing that thing in the bath, but I think I know. I'm asking Hedwig. Moira is still wearing her cap. She gestured at her head, dripping water into Eustace's bushy brown hair in the process. I wouldn't really know how to deduce that. What? In Medieval Nun game, this is our second bath scene, if you can believe it. Smile. Get out here. Go to bed. Take a wild guess. I frowned, squinting at Moira's eyebrows from across the room. Some sort of, I don't know, dark brown? Chestnut brown? Does the accent not give it a... Ow. Moira elbowed Eustace, chuckling. No cheating. Feels like there's a clue you want me to recognize that I'm just not seeing. Hearing. Top of the morning to ye, Hedwig. I don't get it. Oh my god. Don't say that. With an impish grin, Moira tugged her cap a little. A few locks of jet black hair draped across her face. Oh. Huh. Just like you, Hedwig. How nice. Consider me surprised. Did you expect a fiery Irish redhead? You win. You win. I genuinely had no idea what she was talking about. In fact, I was slightly irritated and didn't expect anything. How could I have? Even the considerate and kind Moira couldn't remember until that. Remember that until recently. My entire world had been a few meters across. Sorry for the misdirect. Couldn't help myself. Red-headed? Like King David? Huh? King David had red hair? I thought he had brown hair. What does it say in the Bible? He's described as Rufus, which means red-headed. Oh. I always took that to mean, you know, red-faced. As in his whole head is red. Really? Well, I could see that interpretation, but besides, in Song of Solomon I remember thusly. La 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 la. My lover is red-headed. His hair curly and black. Blah 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 blah. Golden faces used similarly to red-headed here. I used to think. You might be right. This is so exciting. I'm caught between two true scholars. It's like I'm in a real council. It's our job. That's right. Still, I like Hedwig's interpretation. It's fun to think about David having red hair. It's dramatic. I didn't care for Moira's use of the word interpretation here. Either Eustace was correct or I was, and I didn't much like the idea of being wrong, but I was grateful for the support. The conversation subdued for a while, and I became all too aware of the fact that this was a peculiar state for three women who had been at each other's throats earlier in the day to find themselves. I worried that Eustace and Moira felt that the same way, and I prodded them with questions. So, do you all do this often? I should hope so. Bathing is very important for your health. I think she means, you know, together. Oh, yes. Well, it's a little embarrassing at first, I suppose, but it's efficient, isn't it? I don't really plan around it, but there's enough of us here that you're going to run into someone else eventually. It's how things are done. It's how things are done the world over. The Romans had huge communal bathhouses. Monks washed together too. I must admit though, a private bath every now and then is to die for. I suppose I've been lucky. Whenever I've come to use the wash basin so far, I've been all by myself. Is it difficult being around people? I mean, I really should have made sure this wouldn't be too big of a leap for you, especially after the day you've had. I'm quite alright. But I'd rather no one looked at me. That's right. Not while I'm nude, certainly. It's nothing we haven't seen before. Booba? They spoke in unison. Eustace down low, Myra way up high. Still, all the same. But I understand. If I take my spectacle off, you'll just be a pale smudge. Would that help? I prefer that over being defined. Right, you are. I'd pop them off when it's time to dry off. By the way, Eustace, are you ever worried you'll drop your eyeglasses in the water? Those are really expensive, surely. Unbelievably. I'm lucky to have them. They're huge. Dread to think how much they cost. Is glass expensive? Very. Oh my goodness, yes. I'm sure you've noticed that there aren't too many glass windows here. Ow, fuck. Let me think. The superior's office window, the chapel. We've had these for a long time, and I hope they last. My eyesight's always been dreadful, but it could always get worse. Goodness, I'll pray for your sake. I wouldn't wish... Kaoxing? Kaoxing? I wouldn't wish Kaoxing on my worst enemy. I don't know how to say that word. Kaoxing? You cut the eye open and then... Ugh. I wouldn't go into the details. Thank you. They had LASIK back then? What the fuck? So, Eustace, tell us. How did you afford those? That's a little forward, don't you think? True, but, well, we're already in the past, aren't we? Fair enough. I did some work for a glassmaker a long time ago and took these instead of monetary payment. Oh, what sort of work? Same as I do here, really. Information organization, maintaining a library, managing orders and logging events, that sort of thing. I was about to say that sounds like a lot of paperwork. A lot of work for even a pair of glasses, but I suppose none of those are being paid at all here. Was removing cataracts. Yeesh. Ooh, I can't buy fine. I don't miss the old job. What made you come here? Well, I always had wanted to retire to the court side. And once I had a sturdy pair of glasses, I reasoned, what else could I possibly want for? Oh, I don't know. Rich husband, a beautiful home. I never wanted those things. Nor I. I did, once upon a time. Now though, I agree with you too, I think. At the very least, it'd take more than that to get me away from here. You know, over the past few weeks, I've been so overwhelmed by everything new to me here. I'm not sure I'll ever truly get used to it. This life of aestheticism might feel simple to you, but it'll never be simple to me. I was prepared to spend my whole life with much less than all this. That is a very helpful perspective, actually. Yes, that's important for us to keep in mind, I think. Are you feeling better after everything? Everything that's happened today, Hedwig? I don't know. Most of all, I just feel embarrassed. As I feel about my behavior in the misericorde, yet still. Forget about it. Yes, there's no need to worry, really. I think I would fare worse if I were in your shoes. And we can help you get better. In fact, I think it's our responsibility. A straw was used to cut the eye. Ew. I dropped my hair clown. Fuck! I'm not picking that up. Perhaps it was because we were all relaxed from our baths, or perhaps there was something to be said for being naked and vulnerable in a room with other people after all. But this second round of apologies after the day felt genuine. I wondered how the ink on Moira's floor was faring. It was hard to relax with that black in the back of my mind. The conversation slowed as we all focused on washing and scrubbing, and I soon realized that the most difficult challenge was yet to come. When we're all done and it's time to, get dressed, could I go first? Of course, but why? Oh, it's just like we've all been talking about. I'm not used to all this and it's a bit embarrassing. That's it exactly. Won't it be more embarrassing having us just sitting here and watching you? Confuse her. I'm trying to help. She's right. I mean, the most embarrassing would be all of us at once. Why? Because then you'll see me and I'll see both of you and we'll be close to each other. What if Eustace and I both close our eyes? That would work, would it? Or what if you two went first and I closed my eyes? That seems more, I don't know, efficient? I wasn't aware that efficiency was a concern. Honestly, this is the most I've ever had to think about being naked. Hedwig, I'd appreciate the offer, but I'm happy with letting you go first. And closing our eyes? Yes, don't be difficult. We just said we'd do our best to make you comfortable. I have no problem with that broadly, but doesn't it feel a bit weird to worry this much about seeing each other in the buff? Naked I came from my mother's womb and all that. Who cares? That's not for us to judge. It is a little bit. What about Matthew 5:28 or Leviticus 18:9? Again with Leviticus. We're not actually sisters. I don't think that passage applies. Sister is a term of formal address. It has nothing to do with being actual siblings of any sort. I know you know that. He was right, of course, but that just irritated me more. I had really been counting on my superior scriptural knowledge to excuse me from being personally embarrassed, but alas. Thinking about it, Hedwig, I know this might be difficult, but how about we all just try doing it the normal way? Getting out and getting dressed all at once? I think Eustace is right. To some degree. Judas? In what sense? That it'll be more difficult in the long run if you don't get used to it? I don't think that's anything you need to worry about. I'll just keep bathing alone when no one else is here. Can we make a decision before I get too pruny? I think we should all get out on the count of 3. You said you weren't going to push me as far anymore. Hedwig, there are 3 of us here and we all like each other. We had a tough day in the village, but we made it back in one piece. Surely this will be easy compared to what you went through around all those strangers. Ooh. I don't want to push you, but I also want to help you. And part of that, I think, might involve pushing you just a little bit. She's right. If I have no choice, I had nothing left to argue with. My day had been thoroughly confusing, and if mingling naked with my shameless sisters was to be the capstone of the whole affair, so be it. I don't think it was Mara's argument that convinced me, however. Or rather, it might have, but only because it made me consider the full weight of what I had seen in my vision. I don't know what it meant, but I certainly felt compelled by a newfound drive to stop stalling in every little aspect of my life. You do have a choice, but let us get it over with. So, what if I get a glimpse of your socket? Better choose. Good lord, that's old-fashioned. I'm a fancy little lady at heart. I wonder if Myra's gonna get pissed. I took a deep breath and braced my arms against the edge of the tub. Eustace, however, was already standing up and drying herself off with a towel and, you know, I've been meticulously detailed about almost every aspect of my days outside of my cell, but would you mind if I glossed over the rest of this? I don't particularly feel like describing Eustace and Moira's body any further, or my own for that matter. I have excised several minor details from my story as it is, after all. I've been exhaustive. I will grant that, but I haven't told you every last meal I've eaten. I'm not told you. Okay. I think our conversation in the baths was relevant information, but I think it will suffice to say I did not enjoy getting dressed in front of my colleagues. But I was very brave about it. You can rest assured of that. Pruning is just as much as my responsibility as a chronicler as cataloging, wouldn't you agree? What is important about this ordeal is that I was actually quite courageous. Okay, good job. I got dressed alongside everybody else and we departed the baths without incident. Incident, however, was not too far away. As we passed the rectory on the way to the cloister, Moira gently grabbed my wrist. Hedwig, why don't we go in here? Whatever for? Well, I have something I want to show you. In the rectory? We should go in. I was completely bewildered. The pair positioned themselves on either side of me and pushed me toward the steps up to the large wooden door. Oh no, I thought, this is it. They knew I'm nosing around about Catherine's death and they were in cahoots. They were going to have me killed. No, I think I'd like to stay outside if that's all the same to you. Stop wriggling. Just go inside. It won't take a moment. No, thank you. What are you two doing? Oh, is it a surprise? Is it because it's her birthday or something and she didn't know? I don't know. I was pushed through the large wooden doors, I stumbled backwards into the room, bumping my backside into a chair that I held onto to stay upright. Gingerly, I turned around and took it long enough. A crowd was gathered around the rectory table, which was itself so laden with food I could scarcely believe it hadn't buckled. Everyone present was smiling wildly, and I felt reassured at the very least that I was not about to be murdered in a dark room. Welcome back, Hedwig. How was the village? It was a valuable experience. Glad to hear it. Well, what is all of this? A few days ago, some of the sisters approached me with a reminder that Saint Cecilia's feast was approaching, which, if I'm not mistaken, would be the feast closest to your date of birth, yes? I think so. Never had much need to track my birthdays while I was an Anchoress. Christmas was my mental marker for the passage of time. Although I once thought about it, I did remember receiving a more handsomely prepared meal once every autumn for a few years when I was still a child myself. Your friends suggested we celebrate. I must admit, St. Cecilia's Day is one that we have oft neglected to mark with proper feast day. But we all agreed it would be appropriate to throw a little bash for you. And her saintliness, of course. I don't know what to say. Start with thanks and we can go from there. Everyone chuckled. I smiled graciously, even though Darcy's remark felt far more cutting than she likely intended. How rude of me. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Everyone murmured appreciatively in response and moved toward their seats. Moira patted me on the back as she walked to her seat with a twinkle in her eye. Everyone began plating food from the gracious piles of poultry, fish, and vegetables in front of them. I thought I recognized some of the carrots I had helped Darcy harvest not long ago. A plump roast duck sat in the center of the table. It all looked and smelled delicious. I apologized for a little ruse. Moira suggested the surprise. Guilty. Everyone here contributed a little, however. Isn't that right? I do believe it was my general idea at first, if we're collecting accolades. Yes, but I remember the feast day. Darcy somehow found time to direct the preparation of this meal and bake those wonderful fritters of hers to take to the village. Speaking of, did any of those make it back? No, we gave everything away. Shame. But not a surprise. I'm sure the town couldn't get enough of them. We all helped in the kitchen too. Yeah. I was distracted for a moment. Yes, Margaret, Adela, and Flora all graciously helped prepare the meal while you were in the baths. Which, let us not forget, I had drawn beforehand. That wasn't a spontaneous suggestion on Moira's part. This is also elaborate. Nobody has ever done anything like this for me before. And don't you forget about it. Don't you forget it, blah. Alright. I should wrap up soon. I'm getting tired of reading. Another chuckle went around the whole table. I kind of want to finish after this whole, like, meal thing. Stuff for her birthday in town? Probably? Yeah, probably. It's late here. No worries, up. I'm getting tired of reading too. I smiled weakly. Tears were welling up behind my eyes. Marta and I had the very important duty of taste testing. That's right. And it's just making me hungry. And guess who's at the table? Well, thank you very much. I could feel everyone staring at me expectantly. This is really wonderful. I choked my words out, overcame with too many emotions at once. Mercifully, being on the verge of sobbing, passed the simple gratitude to everyone else present. I was thankful, but I was also confused, anxious, hurt, terrified as I mentioned too many things at once. I did not deserve any of this. I was not anyone's friend. I was a liar and a sneak, a dog set loose in the coop to root out a fox. I gawked across the table at the superior who smiled back at me. I found it incredible that nobody got caught in the puppet strings connecting her and I as they reached between us for food. And as it's St. Cecilia's feast day, I will be performing a little composition of mine in the chapel after our meal concludes. If anyone would like to join me for a rehearsal beforehand, I would appreciate the assistance. Margaret? Catherine? There's nowhere I'd rather be, but I do think we have some urgent matters to attend to once this is over. Urgent? Well, we were helping prepare this for most of the day. I have some important tasks I set aside. It was my pleasure, just so you know, Hedwig. Of course. Well, if it is urgent, of course you may be excused. Since when is anything around here? Cora glared at Catherine, who maintained an utterly innocent expression. To everyone else, barring any emergencies, you're invited and encouraged to assist. Either way, we must all convene at the chapel later. This was met with a ripple of non-committal murmuring. I could tell the food was excellent, as was to be expected. But as I ate, I felt like I was sitting next to myself. I could not taste the juicy duck or the rich gravy. I was having it described to me secondhand. Everything I could taste, smell, and hear, and see felt like it wasn't really there. Are you feeling well, Sister Hedwig? Yeah? Oh, my apologies, I had a long day. What was it like going down to the village? That must have been quite an adventure for you. It was. I'm afraid I did not adjust the experience as well as I could have. It was a bit stressful, but I think she'll do better next time. Perhaps a picnic or some such. Yes, we more or less came up with the same idea, didn't we, Hedwig? That's right. Wonderful news. I do apologize for the stressful assignment, Hedwig, but it was the best I could come up with on short notice. She took a sip of wine, but kept her eyes on me. Well, I suppose it was all worth it for this. Here. Although I'm not so sure. I was not sure I was worth all this trouble. I'm not sure how I can repay you for all this. You've all been very kind, and well, you do not have to repay us for any of this. Absolutely not. That isn't the point. If you really must feel like you're doing something for us in turn, you could keep your self-flagellation to a minimum. You could indulge us in some questions about yourself. You've been out of that little cell for weeks now, and I still don't feel like I know you very well. That's a fantastic idea. If she's up to it, no escape. I'll do my best. In that case, where are you from? Germany is where I was born. I don't remember anything about it. I suppose you could say I'm from here? You don't remember anything about where you were born? There's very little I can recall about my life before I took my oaths, I'm afraid. Is there anything at all you can remember? Any particular places? Your parents? No. I don't have any recollections of my mother or father. I'm sorry. Crumbs, there's no need to apologize. Okay, I just can't imagine what it's like. Don't listen to her, Hedwig. That sounds positively blissful. Hedwig Lindborough. I do remember one thing. I think. It's hard to know, in fact, if it's a memory at all. But it is at the very least something I know I could never have picked up in myself. Everyone leaned forward slightly. I can remember the smell of the ocean. That's all? For the most part. There are little bits and pieces I associate with that smell if I try my hardest to recall, but nothing substantial. I was just about to say, the smell of the ocean is one of my strongest memories as well. You and I have more in common than I expected, Sister Hedwig. Can you speak any other languages? I don't think so. My grasp of our own language leaves much to be desired. I'm not sure a second one would find purchase in my head. Perhaps you could forget a few phrases like find purchase to make room. Catherine? I remember the saltiness of the sea if I try hard enough, I think. I think I could describe the sound of the waves. But beyond that, my earliest memories are, well, the office of the dead. Ah, how beautiful. bit morbid for a first memory. I don't find it morbid. It's a very comforting memory, actually. The bishop read it for you, I presume. I would have liked to have witnessed that, but it was before my time. 20 years ago, I had just taken my vows at Bourne Grove. Yes. All in all, I remember it being quite a moving ceremony. That's lovely. I'm glad it's a positive memory for you. After that, it mostly becomes a blur. Not in a bad way, it's more like the rest of my life up until very recently was one long meditation. Things tend to move faster and slower all at once in a small place, don't they? Oh. Time is the same always, I think. That makes a fair bit of sense to me, actually. It certainly describes how I felt after moving here. Which reminds me, how were my old stomping grounds, Hedwig? Did anyone mention me? They shot me an oddly piercing look. No, I'm afraid not. Ah, shame. I'm sure the place is falling apart without me. The grapes they've been sending up to us haven't been tasting as good ever since you left. You know what? I think you're right. Eat. We mustn't let all this food go to waste, and we're due in the chapel for that little recital. Everyone groaned, and the table-wide conversation dissipated as the sisters ate their fill. My stomach was still rather uneasy. I tried to eat as much of the admittedly delicious meal as I could, but I could not keep up with any of the others. I watched the others eat as I picked at my own plate. I couldn't help but notice that Angela was not present. I was not surprised that an event even partially in my honor did not interest her. I was inclined to agree with Angela's assessment. I was not worth this level of pageantry. As I forced the last bits of food down my throat, all I could think of was the disappointment Myra would feel as soon as she entered the dorms. Her unwarranted kindness toward me will dissipate instantly as soon as she realized what happened. I looked across the table at her innocent smiling face. She would hate me the instant she truly knew me. The piles of food were slowly wore down to nothing. Conversation began to start back up again, albeit quieter, calmer. Everyone, it seemed, was at peace after this decadent meal in my name. Okay, I'm calling it. I'm tired. Tired! Just in time for this stupid ad. Four-hour stream. Man, it doesn't get easier to read all that. Oh, that's man. Sleepy. I'm not sleepy. I'm more just tired of reading. Already me. I'm a little bit frustrated at how, like, I don't know. I think I commented on how I appreciated the pacing. Like a couple streams into the reading, but now it just feels like a little too much, a little too slow. Well, and I mostly feel that way because I have to read it out loud. But if I were just reading it for myself, you know, without reading it out loud, it would be better. Finding it a bit long. Yeah. Well, because, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just tiring to read every little comment that Hedwig has. And I appreciate her input, but now as we keep going through the story, I'm like, well, is she a reliable narrator at this point? She's going crazy. For yourself if you wanted to. I know. Like, every time after these reading streams, my throat gets so tired. Alright. Let's go raid Doomy. I think I'm gonna raid and run. I would like to take a nap before my run. Alright, let me end the bye YouTube.